Tony Woods, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Woods. If I was in charge of making and passing out statues around the world, a Tony Woods statue would be in parks, in some of the happiest places all over the world to honor the amount of joy and laughter you have brought into the world, my brother.
Thanks, man.
How's that for a start?
That's a good start. I like it.
Now, you know, you were so influential on so many comedians. I mean, I've known you for years. All the best comedians I know look up to you. I just spent, you're from D.C. It's notorious that like Chappelle saw you and loved you, and I just spent 2 months with Reginald D. Hunter.
Hey, baby.
Who's also a great old friend of mine, and your name came up in conversation, and about just so many people. You were the Zen master that the best fucking comedians have ever learned from.
Damn.
So, thank you.
No, thank y'all. I didn't know.
And here's the thing. This is, Reg told me, you told him the best comedy advice. You said a comedian is having a conversation with the audience that contains his jokes.
Yeah.
Where a comic is just telling his jokes
and
can't wait to get to the punchline.
Yeah. Ding 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 ding. That shit. Hey, Rocky, want to see me pull a rabbit out of my head? Oh, come on, motherfucker. I don't.
So, and you're so laid back. It is like you're definitely the definition of that statement, because you're always having a conversation.
Yeah. Well, it's the best way to talk.
Well, how do you prepare to your material? You just got some funny shit you want to do, or there's like ideas you've been working on in a certain period of time?
It's just I think about things, and so like one bit may be 4 different experiences, and it may be like 4 different experiences that are 20 years in the making. Sometimes like when I was on the Def Comedy Jam, and I did a bit about being on the subway, and a woman sneezed, and she had an earring hole in her nose, and she sneezed, and a booger shot out and got on my shirt, and I'm like, ah, and then and no one has ever called me on this, and I've always been worried about it. Yeah. I punched her in the stomach. That's how I go. I said, she put a book on me. She put a book on me. I said, so I punched her in the stomach. Right, people laugh, but no one has ever said, he hit a woman. No one has ever fucking said that. And I'm like, okay, well, nobody said nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. And then I say that the transit cop comes over. He says, did you punch her lady in the stomach? I'm like, man, she put a book on me, where it kind of makes him understand. Oh, I see. You like that, It's just,
okay. I get it.
I get it now. Yeah, that's the reason to punch a bitch.
In the annals of law books all over the world, that's allowed.
So, and then he says,
you can never hit a woman unless
he goes, I'm going to kick your ass. And then, wait, I forgot the whole bit, but like he says, I'm going to kick your ass. I said I stood up because I was gonna run, and then I looked at him. I said, I think I could take this dude. And not that he was smaller than me or nothing, but he was handicapped, which gets a big laugh. I said, but no, not like in a wheelchair, nothing like that. I said he had one of those little baby arms like that. which when I was in the 6th grade, there was this girl who I really liked, and her brother was, he just had a reputation of fighting and shit, but he had a little arm. And I figured most people just didn't want to fight him because he had a little arm. I didn't think he was actually a bruiser, but he had a little arm. And I was like messing around with his sister, like she was jumping double, just I grabbed the rope or whatever, just being what little boys do when little boys like little girls. But his friends, his little henchmen, they liked her too. So they went back to him and said, yeah, he was messing with your sister. I'm like, what? They come over to me and my little crew and go, yeah, I heard you messing with my sister, with that little arm. I'm like, man, I just wasn't messing with your sister, man, because you're in the 6th grade, you can't say, listen, I have a thing for your sister, and your sister has a thing for me. But you couldn't say that, yeah? See anybody touch your sister, man, like that. I had to stand up. And then he back, and I'm like, and I said to him, he puts his guards up, and and I'm like, go ahead, man. I didn't put my guards up. Like, dude, you don't want this, man. Like, that's what I was thinking. And then he starts to dance around. All the kids are circling. I was like, ooh, it's gonna be a fight. So I put my hands up. So we're about to go, and he starts to move the little arm. He's just like moving it, and which is like, it's confusing. He said, what are you doing? Like, you don't say, what are you doing in a fight? But it's like, what are you doing? And then I'm like watching the little arm, and with the long arm, is wham, like, fuck. He's like, surprise, bitch, like that. Because it was like a diversionary tactic, the little arm. And then, the regular arm stunned me so much, like, fuck, you can't hear no more. It's like, you ever get hit? We're like, like, what the fuck?
You got hit.
Yeah, I got hit. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, and you're thinking, I'm about to get beat up by a handicapped guy. This can't happen, right? And so I rushed him. When I rushed him, he fucking grabbed me with the regular arm. And I had fought my older cousins before, and his strength reminded me of fighting my older cousin, who was like around 14 or 15 at the time. And it felt like fighting him because I can't fucking move. And he had me and just fucking cracking me with that little fucking arm. Oh my God. And it was echoing like fuck. So basically, we're just doing some Laurel and Hardy shit. Well, I'm backing up. I'm running backwards, and he's got me in a headlock. I'm running backwards while he's like, I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck are the teachers? Because the teachers are usually right there. The teachers usually break a fight up before fight even starts. But this time, I'm like, where are these bitches? Like, because he's cracking the top of my fucking head. And his sister said, stop hitting him. He is my friend. And he stopped. And we're both just standing there huffing and puffing at that time. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to rush you again. That's what I was thinking. That's not going to happen, motherfucker. Now, that was when I was in the 6th grade. But the joke I tell is we were on the subway, and the transit cop did it. So years later, when I did do the joke on Def Comedy Jam, this girl comes up to me, and she goes, you went to school with my husband, and my husband thinks that you told a joke about him. I said, who was your husband? And she said his name. And I just started laughing. And I look over, and I'm like, yo, what's up, man? And I'm like, yeah, it's like, yeah. And, and he's like, told you. Like that, because she's just listening to the joke. Was he like,
why did I have to be a transit cop in the joke?
Yeah, like, just like when somebody steals your joke and like they dress it up or whatever, yeah. Like they steal your car and put rims on it. Hey, bitch, that's still my car.
Yeah,
he knew. He's like, because he's probably thinking he ain't, after the ass whooping I gave him in the 6th grade, he would never ever fuck with a guy with a little arm ever again. And he's right. So yeah. So I look at that joke, which is like, it was like 10, 15 years in the making, because I did it on Def Jam when I was in my mid to late 20s, and that shit happened when I was 11. The thing with the woman with sneezing, because this woman named Alice, who was a friend of my mom's, she's like a hippie type, and she had an earring in her nose, but I think it got infected or something like that. So the earring wasn't there anymore. And I remember one time she sneezed and like a bubble. So it was all of that shit mixed in.
Came out of the nose hole.
Nose hole, but like a bubble came out of the nose hole. So that's so it's you just.
So just the stories develop over time.
And like some guys go, you must write all day long. No, like that. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, I do think you're a true artist in every sense of the word, and I'm trying to be the same kind of comedian. Yeah. I think, and the long road of life is bumpy and all that shit, but your quality of work through the years, and the last time I saw you, you did this bit. I think it was the last time I saw you. It destroyed me, and I was hanging out with my mom. Like
Was it about the dirty bread?
No. We can go. I'll tell you. But I told my mom this joke. I said, my buddy Tony Woods, I saw him and he did this thing, and my mom laughed.
Was it about being in France?
No, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So you were talking about like women, like peeing, like sometimes you accidentally have to pee outside or you get caught and whatever. He's like, I forget how you set up. It's like just the amount of
like
liquid that comes out of a woman when
right,
she
and
pees.
You like,
and you said that's why in the women's bathroom in the stalls they got the rails so they don't fly away.
So they don't bump their head on the ceiling. Yeah. And the other thing I say is like when you hear them pissing, it's like, wow, how many PSIs is on that thing? Like, because if we pee like that, we fall backwards.
I told my mom that joke, and you made my mom laugh.
Women love that. It's a lady joke. it's a lady joke. Yeah.
So you've also traveled all over the world. Yeah. People give me credit for it, but and that's the thing about you. You're quiet. You're everybody's favorite comedian, and you avoid any exposure whatsoever. I mean, I had to trick you to finally get you to sit down and talk. Right now.
Okay.
So how was you just got back from where? Portugal and Spain and France?
I was in Omaha yesterday.
Okay, that's in Spain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the plains. I know that. Goddamn it. And let me see. And it was a makeup gig because I was supposed to do it back in June, but I was supposed to be in Baltimore at the Comedy Factory on Reisterstown Road, and I was supposed to be in Omaha, but another comedian that we both know, his people called and said he's doing secret dates. Would you like to do something? Like, well, I'm booked here.
We can't say who you worked with?
Nah, we don't want to say
it.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, he's now we do. And then his people said, well, wow, we really wanted you there because we're going to be in Lisbon and we're going to do Paris and we're going to do Belgium. I'm like, you know what? They just canceled those shows in Baltimore and Omaha. so boom. Because Lisbon, I always thought Portugal was in South America. I never even thought about it. It's in Europe. Just didn't think.
Well, it's off on the side on Spain. I just went there for the first time in October. And even I've crawled all over Europe. It's just one of those out-of-way spots.
Yeah, it's just you never thought about it. And
there's so much more to explore first before Portugal. That's that should be their tourist slogan. Hey, whenever you get around to it.
Yeah, come on over.
Come on over.
And then they go, everything is legal.
After you've seen everywhere else, visit Portugal.
We did that. Then we flew up to Paris. We did Paris, and then we caught the train up to Brussels. And through my connections, I said, yo, why don't we do an extra day up in Rotterdam? Because a friend of mine, Marcel Hall, just opened up a new room. This is about the size of this room. But it's a nice room, yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's about this size. And we did it, but it's a dope-ass little room. And the who's who of Dutch comedy came out to see this guy. And he stayed back in his dressing room. He says, who are those guys? I'm like, they're pretty big. They do stadiums and stuff in Dutch, but they do them. And
so he didn't want to meet the Dutch comedians?
He didn't want to meet them. Nah.
Wow.
It's okay. Sometimes it's not that he's on a high horse. It's just he's no Sinbad. You know how Sinbad is like, what's up, bitches? Sinbad is in the middle of the room, with a lampshade on his head, like He's not that guy. Yeah. He's not Kevin Hart. He's not that guy. Well, I don't know.
Well, you're someone I would love to see do an hour special. Yeah. Where's the Tony Wood special?
I don't know, man.
That's. I'm just saying, like the unfairness of.
But sometimes I
people
feel
who are passing out fucking specials.
I feel like Gizmo sometimes. Gizmo from the Gremlins. Yeah, okay. He was the original. He was the little Gizmo, but when he
got wet,
he get wet, and then the fucking little Gremlins pop out of his back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like when I watch Netflix specials.
Yeah, but one of those Gizmo Juniors has got to rise up and when you get to the top, drop a rope.
Nah.
No.
I get there, I guess. But I don't know. I guess I'll do. Now I do a bit about getting a because I just because my sons and stuff, they watch the Netflix special, and then I got friends that go, oh, did you see such and such's Netflix special? I'm like, nah. They said, you don't watch comedy? I'm like, nah. They said, but you go to comedy clubs all the time. I'm like, I'm usually in the back talking. And it's not that I'm talking. When I walk in the club, everybody's talking to me. So it's just, and you don't want to be rude. You answer questions and shit. And so, yeah, I don't get to hear everybody else and stuff. So.
All right, man. Is it time that we talked about Aunt Margie's banana bread?
I like Aunt Margie's banana bread. Who else? Let me see. So I was saying that I did watch a couple of them, and it seems like the going theme is now you got to be down with the LBGHSTV community, and I'm like, well, fuck it, me too. So now lately I've been saying, they said, well, how do you identify? I'm like, I'm a Trans Am, bitch. Like that. And dude, and it seems like being part of their community is just too much work for me, dog. Because I'm telling you, man, I put the little thing up in the bathroom to put your cologne and your deodorant and shit on. Yeah. Every time you take a shower, that motherfucker fall down. So I know I can't be fucking crawling up on the porch putting a flag up, son. It's too much work, man. I'm like, and then I tell people, I said, one time I thought I was going to have to put a flag up, though. I was with this girl who already had a nice short haircut, and she had old developed guns. I guess she worked out a lot, and we're messing around. The lights out, and I lick her, and that thing licked me back. I'm like, what the fuck? Cut the light on, man. I gotta put a flag up. But it was just a big clit. So yeah, I'm gonna stay out of Home Depot, man. I can't put no fucking flags up. Anyway, if I put a flag up, do they got a flag for I like to choke pictures?
Well,
oh man.
But I'm originally from D.C. and I love just my memories of that city, and I think my family. But let me just. Did you go to that?
What?
Donald Trump 4th of July tribute to America?
No, dude, I was in a little private place called Chesapeake Beach.
Oh, nice.
It's about 45 minutes from D.C. It's a little beach. It used to be a fishing place, but I guess the developers said, fuck that, we want people to swim. And they got little slot machines. It's like a little place you just go and eat cheap crab cakes. I mean, really good, delicious seafood, because these are the guys who catch the crabs to bring them into the city. And so, bang, you can go down there, and you can eat a delicious crab cake dinner for like $10 and play slot machines and look at the water, because it was thundering and lightning anyway. It was so, I had my mom with me on the 4th of July. So I'm like, hey, you don't want to be all down there in the melee and stuff like that. And then people didn't even get to see the fireworks because the humidity and the clouds and you see.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, I was being a smart ass because I thought Trump standing where Martin Luther King Jr. Gave the speech.
Was he? No, he wasn't.
Was that the same spot or not?
Nah.
But anyway,
Martin
just
was
in front
on
of the Lincoln Memorial.
He was on Tom Jefferson's.
Oh, was he at the Jefferson Memorial?
He was, but the Jefferson Memorial and Martin Luther King statue kind of look at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you say, hey, where the bitches at, Shorty? It's because they, never mind. Can we erase that? Don't you remember in Blazing Saddles? He pulled him up. He pulled Cleavon Little up. He had the Klansman outfit on. He pulled him up, took the hood off. He go, hey, where the white women at? Like that. So Thomas Jefferson is like, hey, Martin, where the black women at, dog? So, yeah, it's an inside joke. So, yeah, but.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, all my aunts, uncles, and cousins all live around D.C. Just to tell the story. It's a special thing through the years. My mom has always made me banana bread.
Yeah.
And she doesn't do it all the time, but it's a special thing. Like, she'll make me, like, if I go on the road or whatever, and she'll make me, I was leaving, I made you, here's a little banana bread. It's a really nice, sweet thing between mother and son.
Yeah.
So my Aunt Margie, my mom's sister, I don't know, man, she trying to muscle in on the banana bread
on the love,
game and like the love or whatever. So like whenever I come to DC, she'll bring me
And
banana
it was
bread.
good banana bread.
And it's not as good as my mom's banana bread.
But it
and
was-
one time she forgot to put the bananas in it. And you can't have banana bread without
With no
bananas.
bananas, yeah. What
So
is you
like,
doing, Auntie?
you and I always have hit it hard and gone out. I think that's probably why we spend so much time together.
Yeah.
Cause
Cause they were like, hey, what are we gonna do? I'm like, just come with me, man. I know some places.
But
yeah.
we were already going out. And so Aunt Margie brings me a banana bread, and I'm like,
we went to the one lounge. We went to the, but we were at the Riot Act.
but yeah.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
Riot. You did
That
the
was a
show
great
there.
club. That's
You did the
just-
show there. I came to hang out with you.
So she gives me this banana bread. I know we're going out. I'm like, we're going to clubs. You're going to show me your favorite underground DC spots. And I don't want to be bringing around a banana bread. And you were like, no, man.
It's good.
We're going to bring the banana bread.
Yeah.
And you kind of carried it under your arm like a baby around
Because
all night. And all night we're going to these late night clubs in DC. And you're like, hey, man. You be talking to somebody. Hey, man, y'all want some banana bread? And like people would like, it's like 3 a.m. People have been drinking. Who wouldn't want a big fistful of banana bread?
And everybody was like,
And people were
man, this is
ripping
good
off-
as shit, man. Where'd you get this, man? Where'd you get this banana bread, Tony?
That's one of my favorite memories with
Because
you.
I think you thought we were going to go places like,
No, not at all.
Nah, I'm like, nah,
No.
we're going to go places.
No,
where
like
we
that
sit back.
blues jazz bar was my
JoJo's.
favorite. That was my
Yeah,
favorite. spot.
JoJo's. Yeah.
We went to some lounge place first, then we went to
one
JoJo's,
lounge and went to JoJo's
and then we went
with
to
the
some
live
place
music.
after
Yeah.
that. And then
Yeah.
we had to
And
deliver
we had
the morning
banana bread.
newspapers.
Yeah, we had
Donuts
banana
after
bread with
that.
everybody. Yeah. At the end of the night, we go, you going to be okay, man? You good?
Exactly.
Yeah, you going to be good? Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Like, okay, shh. We're all good. So, yeah, we had a ball, man.
We had a ball, man. So, like, we're in Vegas, the Comedy Cellar. You're doing the next
I
week.
do Monday through Sunday.
How often do you go up? Because it seems like whenever I try to go to New York at least 1 week a year to do sets at the Cellar. You know,
I try to go
just because it's
at least
it's like
one weekend every
our
other
Mecca.
month. Yeah, it's like where you have to come back to recharge your battery. You go all of these good places, and then you come back there. It's like because everywhere else you can get on and you can run. It's like running cross country. You get to run through the woods, up the hills, through the creeks. But at the Comedy Cellar, it's like, okay, baby, here we go. Boom! It's like roller skating at a, on whatever. Like if you ever roller skate, you have to jump out there, zoom, and get it. Just like you don't just say no time to warm up, just fucking get it. And the shows are always fire up there at the Comedy Cellar.
That's right.
Yeah.
So are you were doing some gambling before? What do you do when you come to Vegas?
I gamble.
Yeah.
But not a lot. But the last time I was here, man, I won $2,000 by accident. So here's what happened.
What?
So on Monday night, me and Mark and all the guys, we go to that first little bar. We walk out, we go to that first little bar, we have a couple of drinks, and the bartender knows us all as the comedians, gives us a drink. And, he assumes we're all going to be gambling. We might put a little bit of money in the poker machine. But this night, everybody had something to do. So I'm there by myself. So I'm sitting next to this son and daughter, a mother and her son from Maine. And I said, can I have a Grand Marnier and a water, right? And the guy goes, that's going to be such and such. I said, he says, what? Gambling. I'm like, oh, okay. So to be an asshole, I put $1 into the machine. He goes, $20, man. I'm like, oh, man. So I put $21 in it. I'm talking to the lady, blah, blah, blah. And something comes up, and I bang, bang. I hit 2 of them. Like, it was two spades. Bang, bang, hit 2 spades. And then I'm talking to the, and then he leans over, the bartender leans over, because he's really busy. He's working the whole bar by himself. He goes, you got some ID? So I'm making a joke. I go, hey man, not with all of this. I'm pointing to my gray in my beard. And then he goes, well, I'll hold these until you go and get your ID. I'm like, I'm thinking, really, motherfucker? Like that. Right? And then he goes, what? And then I'm like, I'm the comedian. He says, I know who you are. He says, now go get your ID. He says, before the pit boss gets here, she says, because you're going to have to fill out paperwork for your jackpot. And, you know, the anger is building, but he says, you're going to have to fill out paperwork for your jackpot.
The word jackpot calmed you down, didn't it?
Jackpot? Huh? And then I look down, I'm like, oh shit, like that, like bang, bang. I got a royal flush, but it's not going bing, bing, bing. It's not making any noise. And because basically he's saying, come on, dude, I'm slammed over here. He didn't say all that, but he's like, I'm like, oh yeah, I got my ID right here, and my wallet, yeah, all of this. So then they come over. Of course, you fill out the paperwork, you do all of this, and he kind of says to me, if I were you, I wouldn't mention that you work at the comedy club. He said, to cut down on paperwork. That's all he said, to cut down, which made me remember once I did a show in the Bahamas for Creative, and I won the Caribbean poker. And they said, well, you're a comedian, you can't get the jackpot. And I think it was like $15,000. I said, well, I quit. And they said, well, you're going to have to pay for the room. Okay, fuck the room. But then whoever the guy who was the feature there, he wasn't doing a good job. And they came out into the casino and said, we're going to let you go this time, but don't do it again. So I got to keep my money and I got to, but I had to pay for my own flight. But anyway, so I remembered all of that. I remembered all of that. So I'm like, okay, thanks, man. And then I come over, I fill out the paperwork, Then I tell the bartender what I thought was going on. He's like, yeah, I thought you. He says, why'd you tell me you were the comedian? I'm like, I don't know. Like that. Like,
thought I might get an extra olive in the drink.
And I told him, I said, I just thought you were being like an asshole. He says, no, dude, I'm slammed over here. I'm the only bartender here. He says, I got to stop what I'm doing because she's going to come over. I have to give her paperwork. And you got to have your fucking ID to make shit happen. And I said, but when you took my drinks from me, I thought you were saying I can't drink here because I don't have any ID. I didn't look down. You know, I hadn't looked down to see that I had a jackpot. I'm like, that's wow. Yeah. So I had egg on my face. But listen, I hadn't pulled the race card out, but I was thinking, I was just about to drop the yellow penalty card. I was like, it's about to be on. Call the NAACP, motherfucker. But it wasn't that. He was saying, dude. And he was like, nah, man, I know who you are. We're cool. I'm like, yeah, we are. Yeah. And I gave him $50.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I love, people I consider heroes are like adventurous and travelers and creative and, just kind of world visionary people. I know you've been all over the world. You've had similar habits that I've...
I couldn't stop skateboarding for years. I was in the pool. I was on the ramp, motherfucker. I was on the rails. I was on the sidewalk. I was in the street. Skateboarding. What you gonna do after the show? We're gonna go skateboarding, bitches.
So what's the most trouble you ever been in traveling around the world? What's the what are some of the nervous scrapes you've
one recently, I can say his name, fucking Kevin Brennan, almost got it. So me and Kevin Brennan in Tampa, Florida. And we're there like on a Tuesday night. He says, hey man, let's go. What's the other one? Side Splitters?
Yeah.
Side Splitters,
like
which is, so the Improv is right downtown in Ybor City. It's like a more touristy spot. We're out we're out of bounds.
I like Side Splitters. It's more like Tampa people.
Right, but the strip clubs around there are out of bounds. So he's like, let's go strip club.
What are you talking about, like Mons Venus?
Just whatever. Like they got the ones.
That's the notorious one.
Where they're totally nude, totally nude, but no alcohol, right? And so we go to a couple, but there's nobody in there. But there's another one, and that motherfucker's packed, son. It's packed. All the cars outside. But I see the cars outside. And the cars outside are the ones with the big tires and all of this and the tents and all of that. And I'm like, that ain't the place for us, Kevin. You know what I'm saying? He says, come on, man, what do you mean? You're black, they're black. I'm like, you don't get it, do you? so we go to the other strip club, which was a funny one, because we go in there and I'm joking around with the girls, and she was very, very super friendly, and I'm like, but hey, it's no alcohol. She says, you can have some of my wine. She has the bartender bring her wine over and pours us a glass of wine, but in like not in a wine glass, in like a drinking cup soda glass or whatever, and we're getting really friendly. As a matter of fact, I have my finger in the bread box. No, not the bread box, the jewelry box. I don't know what you want to call it. The box in the front. Okay, not the chocolate cake, but the cherry pie. I got my finger in the cherry pie, and I'm having a ball. And then, the dude pours the wine. She takes my finger out of the cherry pie and does some Papillon shit and sticks my finger in my wine. And then she says, cheers. Yeah. So I gotta drink my motherfucking wine, man. And I can see the residue from the cherry pie. And the motherfucker, but I was as cool as the guy was in the Papillon. Remember, he had to smoke the cigar from the leper? Yeah. So I'm like, hey, man, I said, I'm going to say a little prayer, and I'm going to drink this shit.
How'd you know I had dry leprosy? I didn't.
I didn't. Like, how'd you know my pussy was about to fall off? I didn't. I just said a little prayer, and I drank this motherfucking wine, bitch. So, I drank the wine, and we had a good time. And the next night, Kevin's like, yo, no more of these fuck-ass, no more of these tired-ass strip clubs. We're going there where the action is. There's a city policeman out front and 3 motherfucking...
He's married. I don't know if you should have used his name.
Okay, now, did I say Kevin Brennan?
No, you didn't.
I meant to say Kevin Jones I was with. Kevin Jones.
He's like, we're going to go to some real shit tonight. I'm like, whoa.
No, not that. I'm talking about Kevin Jones. He's Neil Jones' brother. Right?
So he says we got to go find some real shit and get it on tonight.
We're going to the strip club where everybody's there with the shit. So we go in there, man. You got to get patted down. They got the fucking metal detectors and all that shit.
I haven't been in a strip club.
But I'm going to tell you what saved our lives. First of all, I had on Vans and I had on Levi's. And I had this baseball cap which says on the back, Discover Greatness. It's a historic Negro League baseball cap.
The
right?
Indianapolis Clowns?
Yeah, they're one of the last teams in the league. As a matter of fact, that movie Bingo Long's Traveling All-Stars with Richard Pryor and Billy D. Williams was based on this particular team.
Oh, I know.
This team was still going after the Negro Leagues was done. They were like, fuck that, we're going to ride this out. So I got on this. So it's like you don't find this hat in the Foot Locker, right? So I got this on, and Kevin has on a dark blue windbreaker. So who do we look like walking in the club? Exactly. Kevin's not thinking that, but Tony Woods is thinking like a motherfucker. Because all you see in there is gold teeth and all that shit. And then so this girl comes over and she dances by Kevin Jones. He's not sitting down. He's leaning against the bar. And she just kind of gives him a half-ass. It looks like she's playing defense on him and playing basketball. That's what it looks like. And then she stops and puts her hand out, and he fucking gives her $3. Like, fuck you, bitch. Meanwhile, other motherfuckers are making it rain. Ah! They got the guy with the squeegee cleaning up dollar bills, right? We walk up to the bar. Now everybody's at the bar. Nobody's getting service because it's a typical black bar. Everybody, what you want? What you want? Like that. We walk in. The manager makes a beeline to us. Says, hello, welcome. What can I get for you? To us. That's what the manager says to me and Kevin Jones. What can I get for you? I don't know. I take a bud. She says, we have Heineken. He says, okay, that's cool. And I said, I'll have a Grand Marnier neat. And they go, really? and then Kevin Jones says, can we smoke in here? She says, you can do whatever you like in here. Meanwhile, everybody's smoking blunts. They're getting it in there. It's that type of place. They all... In Tampa, they motherfucking getting it, son. They getting it. Gold teeth everywhere. Everybody got their fucking jewelry in their mouth. Motherfucker. And then, so, to be cool, Kevin Jones says, let me have one of your cigarettes. I pull out Camels, which is like, because everybody at the bar like, oh, shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, and when Kevin Jones paid for the drinks, he pulls out all his money and counts it to her like that and puts it back in his pocket, which shows a certain amount of fearlessness. It's either this motherfucker is super brave or super fucking stupid, right, in this particular element. And then another girl comes over, and I can see her. She's been sent over by the little dude over in the corner with all the women around him and the little gangsters. And she goes, hey, what's up? I never seen you here before. I said, you know what? I've never seen you here before either. She says, I said, where you from? She said, I'm from Tampa, born and bred. I said, you kind of look Haitian to me. She says, what? I am Haitian. My parents are Haitian, blah, 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 blah. And she says, where you from? I said, well, my partner is from New York City. I'm from Washington, D.C. Right? I'm not talking out the side of my mouth, no slang today. I'm speaking straight up. And then she goes, well, your partner gave the top dancer $3. And
He already talked back in the locker room.
And now you know Kevin Jones. You know Kevin Jones is not one to bite his tongue. Kevin is, it's called gratuity. That's what Kevin Jones said. I'm like, Kevin Jones don't know how much motherfucking trouble we in right now. And then she said, I'm just saying, sometimes when people don't tip right here, they could get hurt. I said, oh, is that what you guys doing here? Now I got the attention of everybody around.
In the whole bar.
No, not just at the bar. They're pretending they're not listening. But I said, oh, is that what you guys doing here?
Yeah.
You threaten federal officers? Everybody's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Everybody's like, oh, shit. Everybody's putting their blood out. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And you can hear the hearts beating around. It's boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom. Like, boom. And then I'm like, yo, I'm gone, right? And so me and Kevin walks up to the stage, and he's looking at the girl, not giving her no money, just looking at her, just looking around, you know. And I walk out. The city cop goes, hey man, aren't you a comedian? I'm like, yeah. He said, yeah, man, I remember you from blah 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 blah. And then I said, hey man, I'm gonna tell you what I just did, like that, right? So I told him what I just did. He fucking falls out laughing. Him and the doorman start laughing. One of them says, oh, shit. Y'all gonna clog up the toilets. Motherfuckers in there flushing. He says, because they're going to think when y'all motherfuckers run out, the bunker was running in. Boom. And the cop says, man, he was telling the other guys, he said, I told you, man, this motherfucker right here is funny as shit. Like that. And then boom. Me and Kevin Jones got in the car and drove off, and I'm like, don't you ever do that to me again. He goes, you're right. I was scared. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you know. So that was, but it was a good little adventure for both of us. As a matter of fact, Kevin Jones talks about it on his podcast.
I think we should all buy dark blue windbreakers.
Yes. If you want to go in a place like that, that's the best way to go.
Is that how you threaten federal officers?
That's what I said. I said, I did like this, you know, just like Eddie Murphy did in 48 Hours. I said, oh, is that what we do here? Is that what we do? We threaten federal officers. Everybody's looking away like, not me, man. Not me, man. Like, yeah.
Clog the toilets.
Yeah. So
what are your most fun, memorable experiences traveling around the world and stuff?
And then
Because I know you've done all that China stuff.
Oh, you know, Greg. You know, with Greg Burns. Is it Greg Burns? Yeah, Greg Burns. He's a DJ over in Europe, over in England. Yeah. He was over in Australia for a while. And me and him were in a little, I guess it was a triad gang, you know, because I was just joking with them and everything. They were just thrilled with my black American accent. Yeah. Because I was like, what's up, dog? Y'all about to do a video? Because I didn't know the gangbangers over there, they dress like a video. They all look like, they all would dress like the characters in Michael Jackson's fucking Smooth Criminal video. Dunk dunk ticka dunk dunk ticka dunk dunk. That's how they all would dress. Like, and like I think the bartender was Australian or something, and the bartender was like, these guys, you know, she told Greg told me. I'm like, oh, my bad. I said, these little dudes over here? But they were like all triad or something, like some kind of gangbang or something. But I was joking with them, and I was doing Michael Jackson and shit. And then one of them, he could dance too, so he get up, because they love to do dance contests in front of me in China. I don't know what the fuck that's about.
China is serious hip hop.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went in China, in the last 5 years, I went all over. I got that 10-year visa, you know, and hip hop.
Yeah.
Because hip hop was already big in Japan.
Yeah.
You go to Japan and they worship Black Americans and Black American culture,
We're in
especially hip
Singapore,
hop.
and I was telling them, I said the difference is they took hip hop attire to a new level, because the only hip hop attire they see is from the rappers on the video.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers are rich, but their regular everyday attire is what Jay-Z and all of those motherfuckers wear on their videos and stuff. They got the creme de la creme fucking hip hop gear. Like, it's not like the same as you see like little kids around here with their pants hanging down and regular jeans and Nikes and shit like that. They look like they're about to shoot a video. So, but I mean, we had
but it was about 5 years ago, traveling around like China and like some of the more remote cities and places. That's when I knew hip hop had completely conquered the world. That everywhere you went in China, because it's all over Asia, it's been hip hop for the last 20 years. But then China specifically, and seeing on the television, turning it on, Chinese dudes doing the hard gangster rap, and like when, I don't know, man, when Chinese people got chains on and are doing trying to do the angry rap.
I just like to see the little miniature hip hop clothes. That looks so cute, shorty. What's up, man? But Singapore and me and who else? Me and Wayne Deacon. You know, he's an Aussie comic, and me and him were in Beijing with this woman on a World War II motorcycle with a sidecar in the snow, playing that song. Dun 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 dun.
I love
dun,
Beijing, and
dun,
one of my favorite things about Beijing is seeing those motorcycles with the sidecars, those old military bikes.
Yeah.
So you rode in one?
Yeah, I was. Wayne was.
I rode in one once, but it was on the outskirts of Beijing.
No, we were right in the city in a snowstorm. It was snowing.
Wow.
I was on the back. The woman was driving. I was on the back, and Wayne was in the sidecar with his camera taking pictures.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful memory.
Yeah, we have a good time all the time.
What are some of your best travel tips? What are your favorite things to do?
To just get lost. I like to do that. I like to just walk. Like, I walked all around Shanghai and Guangzhou, Beijing, Hong Kong, even Macau. Just get lost. I do that in Amsterdam. I just get on my bike and just ride around, and then come back to the headquarters over at the Comedy Cafe and say, "Hey man, look, I know of a place. Let's go." And we all go. Cause I'm the one who. Because all of them like, are you riding a Mac bike? Because it was like, it's a real touristy thing.
The red rental bike, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's right, where the Comedy Cafe was, is right next to Paradiso, and then right next to Paradiso is the Mac bike.
And I would say, yo, man, get a Mac bike. And at first they all laughed, but then when they were able to be Dutch and just zoom around the city, then everybody's like, it's cool now. I made it cool. I made an uncool thing.
Yeah, well, when I lived there, I would buy them junky bikes all the time. So they say don't buy the junky bikes because it encourages the people stealing them. The junkies. If you ever see somebody with two bikes in Amsterdam, they're they're trying to sell one of them. And they stole it. So after I had like 3 bikes stolen in Amsterdam, I said, "Fuck it, I'm buying a $10 junky bike." So and there was at one time I had like 3 or 4 of them. And locked up, so when friends of mine would come visit, I'd lend them a bike and stuff. But ripping on a bike around Amsterdam is one of my favorite sensations in the world. Spiegelstraat is that long pedestrian bike street that runs straight into the Rijksmuseum, and you ride through the center.
Is that where's Boom Chicago now? We went past there the other day.
Boom Chicago, that's where I filmed my television show. That's the Rosengrock
the new one?
Theater.
Yeah, we saw Judah Friedlander.
It's on Rosengrock.
We went to go see Judah Friedlander when I was there the last time. And the new Comedy Cafe, have you seen it?
I love it, man.
It's beautiful,
It's on the river.
Yeah,
the river, and
that is dope.
they got the curtains open before the show.
Yeah.
So you can see the boats and the ships
Then they close
rolling
it.
by on the river, and then
I filmed it.
they
and
close
stuff
the
when I was
curtains
over
when
there.
the show starts. It's brilliant.
And who was there? Jeffrey was
Can't
there.
beat that effect.
Yeah, and Bob McLaren. Everybody screaming, cheer! Bob McLaren's here. And William Sutton came out to hang out with me, and all the Dutch guys. Edgar Panosa, whose dad used to own the place.
Yeah.
And who else? A lot of the guys came out, and everybody except for Jorgen Ryman. What? But Jorgen, we hung out in
I'm friends with him
Curacao.
on Facebook and
Me too.
Instagram.
We hung out in
Jorgen's a good
Curacao. Yeah, I love
You know,
him.
and he was from Suriname, my soon-to-be ex-wife.
Y'all gonna get back together, man.
That ain't the truth.
Yeah, 'cause y'all miss each other, man. Miss each other. Yeah.
We're
It's
still
cheaper to
we're
keep
still good
her.
friends.
Boom,
We
boom.
love each other. She's editing this podcast, by the way.
Back there you go.
So, what advice do you have for the world traveler, or even the world traveler comedian? Like people always ask me, how do you
Like you know how Anthony Bourdain was like. He wasn't like man versus food. And most Americans approach shit like man versus food. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna eat the biggest sandwich you got. Shut the fuck up. Right? Just do like Anthony Bourdain does. Just tip in. Hey man, what's up, dog? Drink a little wine, talk a little shit, smoke a cigarette, lay back, eat the food, laugh a little bit, dance a little bit. That's what Anthony Bourdain did. And that's pretty much what I do. Just kind of don't dive right in. Just kind of wade in. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to see a stranger in their pool. But you get comfortable with them, and then next thing you know, you knee deep in the culture. Like, all right, this guy's all right. Meanwhile, man versus food is fucking throwing up because he dove right in. You know what I'm saying? Fuck is wrong with you? So,
What about advice for comedians? Because
I don't.
you're
I just tell them, man, just hang out. Like the ones who walk in with their joke book, and I'm like, is it poetry night?
like this joke.
Yeah, they walk in the club with their joke book. I'm like, is it spoken word night tonight? What are you doing?
I love it.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day when it started, and I remember like when you're eager and somebody goes, we got a gig, and it's like 2 hours away, and it's you and 3 other comedians are in the car. Oh, you're driving there, and then one guy goes, oh shit, I left my fucking joke book. No, we gotta go back.
I've been that guy.
Yeah, so that fucked you up, man.
Well, yeah.
And I got a real good comedy friends. We're still good comedy friends. And I remember he said that, and I said, man, and I didn't mean to.
We gotta go back.
I didn't mean to be. I didn't mean for it to hurt as much as it did. But it hurt because everybody in the car was quiet.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, come on, man. Listen, man, if you can't remember this shit, I can tell you what you do. You do the same shit every time. I got you. Oh, but I didn't mean for it to come out like that. I meant, like, what are you studying, motherfucker? You do the same shit.
But I make my joke. But they're sacred works of art, man.
Yeah.
Look, I glue books in. Look,
Yes,
look at this. Look at this. This is my joke book. Hold on, let me show you.
Look like you was hiding in the
Motherfucking
closet.
Marvin Gaye stamps.
Yes. Look like you
I
was
put
hiding
shit in it.
This Calvin and Hobbes. This is more than a joke book. This is like a scrapbook extraordinaire.
Yeah, that's where I like scribble my ideas and thoughts and stuff. I don't always bring it. I don't bring it to the club.
And then
What I do is I like grafting paper. I'll make notes, bullet point things, and then at the club I'll just look at my scrap of paper. I don't bring the joke book to the club.
Yeah.
I bring little.
I got you.
Well,
we all have my own method, and
what's your method? I mean,
I just have a good memory, and because people in my family, like I remind them of something, and they go, well, "Who told you about that?" I'm like, "I was there. Remember, it was me." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they go, "Well, you were 4." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Yeah. So, like I remember.
Well, I remember I had this conversation with Chappelle, and because we were talking about because some comedians will put their notes on their phones.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts when you see like like an LA alternative young comic pull out his phone, and then he's like flipping his thumb on the screen, going, "What else? What else?" I don't think you should ever like look at notes on a phone, but like for some reason, like looking at a piece of paper to me, I think is forgivable. Yeah. And the thing with Chappelle and I were talking about is like he and I are pen and paper.
Yeah.
You know, like to organize the thoughts using pen and paper instead of like the computer or you know, notes on your phone or something. So you don't do none of that.
None of that.
Just remember it.
Just remember. And then sometimes things make me remember, like when I see somebody do one of my things, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I used to. Like you just rolled by my house in the car you stole from me 5 years ago. Thank you, motherfucker. I forgot I had that car. I'll be needing it back now. Sometimes I've done this before. I've stolen my car back and I kept your rims. Like somebody I go, you know what? That's just what that car needed. Thanks. And I keep it.
Yeah.
So when I do it again, and I can't say, hey, you stole my car. No, it's my car, motherfucker.
What joke have you written that you're the most proud of?
I don't know.
But you're also a great storyteller, so I would include story in that also.
I don't know. I think the first bit I did was I Am Energy Man. It was me playing, bouncing on the bed. Just bouncing on the bed. And on the dresser was a box of Kleenex. And my mom had this really nice ashtray with a lighter on it. Right?
Yeah.
You just and you know, I squeeze it and the flame comes up. And I was bouncing on the bed, making the flame come out. And then I got a Kleenex and I lit the Kleenex. And the Kleenex went, whoosh, it just disappeared like magic. And I was like, I remember looking in the mirror and go, I am a magician. Like that. And I was doing that, just setting Kleenexes on fire. And one of them went down and did not go out. And it just touched the you know, my mom had a really nice, what do you call it? I don't know. It wasn't called a comforter back then. I don't know what you call it, but whatever the fuck it was, Tom, that bitch caught fire like the fire went like this. And,
so how old are you when this happens?
Maybe 5. Okay. Maybe 5. And you know, the first thing I grabbed off the dresser to put the fire out was a can of hairspray.
That's great.
And that was the joke. I said it must have been real hot in that room because when I squeezed the hairspray, fucking fire came out of there too, right? Because you know it shot fire out of it too, and I was fucking panicking. And then
I got superpowers.
Yeah.
How can I control this?
But I was a superhero at first, bouncing on the bed with a towel around my neck, and I was Energy Man. And then when I started doing that with the magic, I remember ripping the towel off, and I go, I am a magician. Like that.
Funny, man.
That was the first time I was on stage because I had written all of this stuff down to say, and I went up there and my legs started shaking. I couldn't remember shit. And then this guy said, hey, look, his leg is shaking. And he laughed. I said, look, and your stomach is shaking. I was like, hey, I said, but don't worry about it, man. I used to be fat too. You know, real slim. I said I was a whopping 70 pounds, but I was this tall. And so and then I just went into the bit about me. Because I was chubby when I was little, and I just went into the whole bit. So, because that's the first bit that I just created out of the dust. Because my back was against the wall, and when my back is against the wall, I can come up with some shit like I did with Kevin Jones and I,
in the Tampa strip club.
In the Tampa strip club.
Yeah. When I was a kid, fire was my favorite toy. Yes, and my grandmother used to always have juicy fruit gum. I remember lighting the juicy fruit gum, just a stick of gum, and it would drip these little fireballs.
Yes.
And I thought that was so cool when I discovered it. And then for some reason I moved or something, and I shook, and I got, look, little perfect round little. A drop got on my hand, one got on my knee, and I still got these little you know, marks from it.
Yeah, I loved fire when I was little. I fucking loved. I set this boiler room on fire once. that was scary. Because I set the boiler room on fire, man. I couldn't put the fire out. And then this guy was walking down the alley. He goes, hey, it's a fire. And all the men in the neighborhood went and they got the fire under control, because that boiler room fire could have set that whole building on fire. And I'll never forget sitting on the stairs, this is in D.C., sitting on the steps of my grandparents' house, and all the guys standing around smoking cigarettes, talking, because it kind of brought the neighborhood guys together. And they said, yo, man, we got to do something about these fucking junkies, man. Because that boiler room was a place where the junkies
He thought they did it, yeah. And you're sitting there pretending like you had nothing to do with it.
I did. I pretended I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're sitting there acting all innocent. That's hilarious.
As a matter of fact, I came clean about that fire when I came home for Christmas from the Navy, from boot camp. Because I had gone to boot camp, and I come back you go to boot camp and then you go to school. I went to school out of San Diego. I came home for Christmas of 1981, and the whole family was together, and everybody's laughing, joking. And I just told the whole family, but I told them in a funny way, and just, yeah, I'm like, I set that fire.
Funny.
Yeah.
What did you learn in the Navy?
I was a dental assistant, but not a dental assistant in the Navy is way different than a dental assistant. On the outside, a dental assistant just sits there and puts her titties on you. Sucks your spit. And the inside, that motherfucker is pulling the tissue back and doing doing sutures and all this kind of, you do a little, you actually assist the dentist. So I was oral maxillofacial surgical assistant, because you actually assist, instead of just like that, yeah. So
Hey, are you going to Asia anytime soon?
no, I don't have anything.
Well, whenever you go back to Asia, I think you should go to Mongolia and do this comedy club. Mongolia is amazing, and then the young comic who owns the club, his family owns the building where it's at, and it's on the one cool bar restaurant street.
Is that the guy Curtin?
No, no. I mean, Andy Curtin could probably help you get in touch with these guys, but you could just deal with them directly. You'd have to caboose it on top of some China stuff. Yeah. But the guy's mom is a dentist, and her dentist office is above the comedy club.
So I can work both
and it's a great
shifts.
Comedy club.
I can work both shifts.
It's a great comedy club. It seats 200 people, and the Mongolian audience is amazing. But the family was so nice. The mom gave me a teeth cleaning while I was there, and the whole office is full of beautiful Mongolian women.
That's what's up.
So you're talking about when they put their titties on you.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought was, oh, you should go to Mongolia. Yeah. All right, Tony. Well, you're one of my favorite human beings on the planet.
You're one of my favorite human beings.
I love you.
This is the best podcast I've ever done.
I'm so glad we finally got to sit down and talk, man. And I hope we have more.
I'm glad you made me do it.
I put you on the
tricked
spot.
me.
I took him off the roulette table.
Yeah.
I hope we have more Aunt Margie banana bread experiences.
Well,
together.
we got tonight, man. We're going.
Who needs tomorrow?
Yeah. What did Richard Pryor say, man? What y'all gonna do? Because the show's over at 11 o'clock. Remember, Richard Pryor had the joke. He says, "I always had to be home by 11 o'clock." He said, "Man, what y'all waiting for? 11 o'clock." What y'all gonna do at 11 o'clock? We're gonna pitch a bitch at 11 o'clock. Right? But he always had to go home.
In closing, is there any words of advice or any wisdom that you have for the people of the earth?
Be kind to one another. Even when motherfuckers ain't kind to you, it'll pay off in the end. God bless you. Good night.
Long may you run, Tony Woods.
Yes.
Long may you run.
Tom Rhodes, you're a funny man. Tom Rhodes, you're an international comedian. Tom Rhodes, karate kick, baby, oh yeah. Tom Rhodes, you're a groovy dude. You go all around the world, telling jokes to all of the people. You are an international comedian. you're funny to everybody in every single country in the world. Tom Rhodes, I like you very much. I think you're talented and very wonderful. Tom Rhodes, you're the best guy in the world. I wanna be your friend, you should call me sometime. Here is my phone number, 603-644-0048. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tom Rhodes, you're an international comedic sensation. Tom Rhodes, I like to listen to your podcast. Tom Rhodes, you're the best man to ever walk on the earth.